All right, this is the basic layout for the blog income and expense report trackers that I have created for you. I'm going to show you how it's set up to make it very easy for you to use and customize, and I'm going to just pop in a few different transactions as examples so you can see how it all works. So when you first get your template, after you save it and open it in your own Google Sheets, you're going to notice at the bottom that there are 14 different tabs. You have an income tab, an expense tab, and then one tab for every month of the year, all the way through December. Now, the way that I use it, I drag each month to the very front of the spreadsheet, whatever the current month is. So that way, every time I open up my spreadsheet, it's at the current month, and it's really easy for me to just drop transactions in. So that just makes it really easy for me to use. And then when I'm finished with that month, I transfer that tab all the way to the very end behind December, and that way the current month is always at the front. So let me first go over with you what the income tab looks like. Each one of these titles, column titles, can be changed. These are just some things that work for me, and I've left them in here just to give you some examples. So whatever your income looks like, whatever your income sources are, you're going to put those at the top of each column as your heading for your income. And then you'll notice that each of the 12 months is listed here. To the far right, you have a total monthly income, and then you have your monthly expenses, your gross, and you'll see a net minus 15% tab here that calculates 15% of your gross income, which is a very rough estimate of what your taxes might be. So you definitely need to research that and determine what your taxes are, but this is just a way to give you kind of a bird's eye view at all times of your income, expenses, and how much you might owe in taxes at the end of each quarter or end of each year whenever you pay them. So on your expense tab, it's basically the same. You have all of the different areas where you spend money for your blog or your business, and then each of the 12 months of the year. So as you can see on income and expenses, each total item has its own total for the year, and it has a monthly total to the far right. Okay? What I want to show you is how the fields populate, because that's what makes it so easy to use. So as I mentioned, each of these tabs, each of these column headings has a name. This income heading translates to the income heading on each month. So if you want to change the name of this to sidebar ads, it's going to automatically change each individual tab. So as you can see, it's populated every single month. Now shows sidebar as the first income field. So rather than changing each individual month, all you do is go to the income sheet and change the title of each column there. So that changes every single one for you. So even if you go all the way to December, you'll see the very first income item is sidebar. So you don't have to go change it 12 different times. So whatever you add up here, if you have an ebook, if you have affiliates, whatever, I have some of these already, but example 1. So anytime you change these headings, it's going to change here. Okay? And that's the same thing for the expense tab. So if you go to the expense tab, and let's say you have Mad Mimi instead of MailChimp, you change that, you go to each tab, and you'll see down here that it's changed to Mad Mimi. So you don't have to change it 12 different times, you change it one time. So if you want to change the name of the expenses, you'll do that on the expense tab. If you want to change the name of the income, you'll change that on the income tab. Okay? Now, as far as the totals, the good news is you do not have to drag and drop each individual total onto the income and expense report. Okay? I've done all of the calculations for you. As you can see, when you click on the very first cell within the income report, you'll see that it equals January, cell number C20. So the total here comes from the total here, okay? So as you go through your month, we'll do a quick sample. So let's say you have an ebook sale. Let's say you have, and I spelled that wrong. Let's say you have a course, or you get paid for, let's do sidebar ads since that's our column. You get paid for that. Let's say that you make some money with affiliate sales. Okay, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to do a few expenses. So let's say you pay for your email marketing. Let's say that you paid for your buffer and website expense. Maybe you bought a new blog theme. Okay, so you have all of these things here. So each time you add a new income or expense item, it's going to automatically total here. If at any time you need to add more rows, you simply highlight the bottom and you insert one more row. You can always just double click here to make sure that it includes every single cell within this total as well. But these totals automatically get dropped into these cells. You don't have to do anything extra. Same with the expenses. If you click over to your January expenses, and you'll see these 3 expenses that we entered. The totals have been dropped right down here, and you'll go to your expense sheet and you'll see the totals have been dropped right here. So you don't have to do anything extra. It drops everything in there for you. It totals it up. Now I want to show you something else. So on your expense tab, it shows that we spent $230 in January. If you go back to the income tab, it drops that $230 into the income spreadsheet. So basically what this automatically does for you is it calculates your total monthly income, your total monthly expenses, your gross profit, and then it takes your net minus 15% and your estimated taxes owed. Okay, so let's go back and add another change in income to, let's just make this $200 so that it's in the positive. So as you can see, it increased our income. So here it shows our net minus taxes is $80.75 for the month of January. So we'd pay an estimate of $14.25 in taxes. All of these totals as well get dropped into the very bottom. So that's a very quick and easy way for you to see your cash flow from month to month. And this is also something that you can simply download and send to your CPA or your accountant at the end of the year or each quarter to help you file your taxes. So hopefully that helps. If you need any help, you know how to reach me. Just feel free to comment below with your question or send me an email at sweetteagrace@gmail.com.